Hello, this is section 7.4, adding and subtracting the rational expression with a different denominator. So for when you have a different denominator, we have to find the LCD. So for the number, to find the denominator, which is, let's say there's a 4 and 6, okay? So in order to find that, you need to find the multiples of each number. The 4 goes with the 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28, and 32, and 36 go on, right? And then 6 has 12, and 18, 24, and then 30, 36, and 42, 48, so on, right? So now we're gonna find so these are the multiples, okay? So this common denominator is the same as LCD, which is coming from the LCM. So now I'm looking for the common the common multiples. So common multiples from the here is gonna be 12, and also 24, also 36, right? So these are the common multiples. But in the common multiples, and what's the lowest one? This is the LCM, which is going to become the LCD. For the variable, when you have the variable, which is, let's say, when you have x and x squared, right? You got to choose the highest exponent from the same base factor. So here's LCD is going to be x squared, right? Square is higher than the degree of 1, right? Okay. All right, so let's do the problem. So in the problem, find the least common denominator for the rational number or rational expression. Factor denominator first, and then build the least common denominator, choose these factors. All right, so first of all, LCD between the 15 and 24. I'm using the actual divisions here, okay? So this one divided by 3, so it goes 5, and then goes 8. And then 5 and 3 is now factorable. So if you multiply them out, and then 3 times 5 times 8 will becomes LCD, which is 15 times 8 is going to be the 120. So 120 is LCD here. So 120. And then once you have a 120, now we have to find the equivalent expression here. So 120, so 15 goes 120. So when you are 120 divided by 15, and then when you multiply 8 and becomes 120, so multiply 8, so it becomes 8, 1 times 8. And 24, 120 divided by 24, which is a 5. So if you multiply 5, which is a 35, well, that's what it is. Okay, on the second one, we got the 4x squared and the 14x, which is already the factor form. So in order to find the LCD is, and 4 between the 14 is 2 goes 4 twice and 7. So actually it's a 28. And also x squared and x is going to be x squared LCD. Alright, so now I need to decide what number I should multiply. So 4 goes 28 7 times, and then x squared is already x squared, so 7 times more. So you got 35. And then 14 times equal to 28 is by 2 times, and then you need one more x to be x squared, and then multiply them both sides. And then you got to distribute the 2x to 2x, and then 3, you got the 4x squared plus 6x. All right, the number 3, you need to factor it out first, okay? So x squared minus 16 is x plus 4 times x minus 4. And then x squared plus 6x plus 8 is x plus 2 times x plus 4. And then x plus 1 and 2x minus 1. So in order to actually find the LCD is, you have to choose all the factor. You have to choose all the factors as the as a common factor, okay? Which is x plus 4, which is a degree of 1, which is you need to take the x plus 4. X plus 4. Also, x minus 1 is only in here, but not in here, but you still need to take it this one. So take the x minus 4. But still, you see another factor on the other side, which is x plus 2. So x plus 2 is also the LCD too. And then in order to make the equivalent expression, you gotta kind of see that what's missing. So you from the x plus 4 times x minus 4, x plus 4 minus times x minus 4 times x plus 2. Actually, the x plus 2 is missing. So you gotta multiply x plus 2 over to both sides, which becomes x plus 2 times x plus 1. And for the second fractions, there has been multiplied the x minus 4. So you need to multiply x minus 4 both sides. And then you get 2x minus 1 times x minus 4. So that's all. Alright, let's look at the next page. Now, we just actually did it for the finding equivalent fractions. So what I do is, okay, I need to figure it out how much has been multiplied, the 8 to the 40, which is, there's a 5 times, and then there's a x times. So you need to multiply 5x on both sides, which is become 15x. That's what it is. Same here too. 7 goes 21 is 3 times. And x goes x cubed is x squared times. And then y goes y squared is y times. So you need to multiply exactly same thing on numerator. And then you get the 3x to 4y. That's the missing. Alright, x plus 3, but there's x minus 2, right? So there is x plus 2 has been multiplied both sides. So you got 5 times up x plus 2. Alright, step for adding or subtracting rational expression. So number 1, factor the denominator, each of the rational expression, and then identify the LCD and rewrite each rational expression as an equivalent expression with the LCD and its denominator. And then we are adding and subtracting the numerator, and then write the result with the common denominator. Over the common denominator, and then factor the numerator, cancel the common factor from the numerator to denominator, and then leave the answer in the factor form. So in order to do this, okay, so we need to find the LCD. So 5 and 10, 10 is LCD, x squares x squares LCD. And then we need to find out what has been multiplied. So 5 goes 10 twice, and x squared stays, multiply 2, so I got 6. 10 goes 10 once, but x goes x squared times x times, both sides, and I got 7x. Now your turn. I got 6 plus 7x over 10x squared. There's no actually cancellation for this case. For the number 4, you need to factor it out, which is x plus 1, x minus 1 times, subtract up. And then also you can change the addition and subtract minus 5. It's a factor of the plus 4 times x minus 1. And then LCD is x plus 1, x minus 1, also x plus 4. X plus 1, x minus 1, and also x plus 4 too. So if you compare with this denominator to this denominator, I think there's a multiplied by x minus 4 plus 4 is missing on both sides. So you multiply 2 times of x and then 4, which is 2x plus 8. And then same here too. You got to think about multiply, which is compared to this denominator to this denominator. And then x plus 1 has been multiplied. And then when you multiply, you get the distributive of negative 5. You got negative 5x minus 5. And then you can add it up. 2x plus 8 minus 5x minus 5 over x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x plus 4. And then I'm going to just cut the little. And then I just combine the like term. I got negative 3x plus 3 and over x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x plus 4. And then if you factor the numerator, which is negative 3, comes out as x minus 1. And then x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x plus 4. And then as you notice, the x minus 1 cancel. And then eventually negative 3 over x plus 1 times x plus 4. So this is a final answer. Okay? Alright, let's look at the next page. So in the next page, we'll do the same thing. And you got 3 of a times a plus 2. So LCD for the case is 2a times a plus 2. So need to think about what's a missing factor. This one is 8. Sorry about that. Which is a missing factor in the so now we got 2a plus 2. And the missing factor in here is gonna be the hold on. Okay, so missing factor for this. Sorry about that. It's gonna be the, and then on this case it's a 2 is a missing, so you multiply 2 is a 6. All right, now you can have a 2a times a plus 2, and then it's a factor of the 3a plus 2. You got 2a times a plus 2. A plus is cancel, answer is 3 over 2a. All right, number 4, you need to factor it. So y plus 3, but y minus 2 is already the prime, so there's no way you can factor it. Put the parentheses, and this is going to be y minus 2 times y minus 3 of the 4y minus 13. And then if you don't like it, you just need to change the sign for positive, negative, positive. Now we need to find the LCD, which is the LCD is going to be y minus 2 times y minus 3. Y minus 2 times y minus 3. So compared to the denominator from y minus 2 to the y minus 2 times y minus 3, y minus 3 is missing. So you got to multiply times by y minus 3 both sides. Now multiply y minus 3 to y plus 3, you get the y squared minus 9. And then, but compared to this denominator to this denominator, there's nothing need to be multiplied. So you're still going to keep that as negative 4y plus 13. And then you can just add it up with the y minus 2, y minus 3 at LCD. You got y squared minus 9 minus 4y plus 13. And then when you combine, I got y squared minus 4y. And then plus 4. And then y minus 2 times y minus 3. And then y squared minus 4y plus 4 is a factorable as y minus 2 squared over y minus 2 times y minus 3. And then there is a cancellation. So 1 of the y minus 2. And then your answer becomes y minus 2 over y minus 3. So that's a final. Same here too. I want to adding it up to find the LCD. But a minus 3 is only the prime. And then a squared minus a plus minus 6 is a factor as a minus 3 times of a plus 2. And then 5 on the top. And then LCD is a minus 3 times a plus 2. A minus 3 times a plus 2. So compared to the denominator for a minus 3 to the a minus 3 times a plus 2, there is the missing of a plus 3 both sides. Oh, a plus 2 both sides. What am I saying? Sorry about that. So, okay, so you gotta multiply a plus 2 both sides. And then you got a plus 2 times a minus 4. And then as you notice, there's a no missing factor, so it stays a 5. And then you multiply numerator, which is a minus 3, a plus 2 is LCD. And then when you FOIL, and then you got a squared minus 2a minus a plus 5. combine like term to a minus 3, which is a minus 3 times a plus 2. And then numerator is factorable, which is a minus 3 times a plus 1 over a minus 3 times a plus 2. A minus 3 cancel. You'll get a plus 1 over a plus 2. So that's the final. All right, number 6. Now factor the denominator, which is a plus 1 times a plus 5 with a 4x on the top and 3x, which is you can change the addition problem. And then it's going to be x plus 1 times x plus 4. So finding the LCD is x plus 1 times x plus 5 and x plus 4. X plus 1 times x plus 5 and x plus 4. And then you just need to multiply 4x with the missing factor is the x plus 4. And minus 3x, missing factor is going to be x plus 5. Then multiply. And then you got distribute, you got LCD is x plus 1 times x plus 5, x plus 4. And then when you distribute the 4x is a 4x squared plus 16x. Multiply negative 3x squared minus 15x. And then combine is x squared plus, you got 1x over x plus 1 times x plus 5 times x plus 4. And then when you factor x out, you got x plus 1 over x plus 1 times x plus 5 times x plus 4. And cancel x plus 1. The final answer will be x over x plus 5 times x plus 4. So that's all. All right. Okay. Thank you for listening.